Welcome to Friday Flow. My name is Ellen. So glad you all could join me this morning. So I hope you all had a nice day off yesterday, or for those that did have the day off. And we're ready to get a workout in this morning. This is a 50-minute class. We'll go to 9:20 and find a comfortable seated position. I always mention to have blocks or some sort of props with you. Those are always helpful. And then we're going to practice a couple poses up against a wall. So if you have a wall or can get close to that, that's going to be great for some of our poses today. So we'll start with a couple of shoulder rolls in our seated position. Taking it up, down, and around. We'll start nice and easy on the ground here on the floor. We'll do 2 more shoulder rolls. All right, now we're gonna do a seated cat-cow. So you're gonna place those hands on your knees, and as you inhale, I want you to pull your elbows together and back, and you're gonna push your chest forward. So you're sort of arching your back here, and then exhale, round the spine, and tuck that chin. And we're gonna do that a couple times. Inhale and exhale. So think of your cat-cow that you would traditionally do in a tabletop. Same motion, just in a seated position. Inhale forward and exhale. Starting to open up through our chest and our shoulders. So keep going with that motion. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see how this looks. Seated cat-cow. Inhale, so I'm sort of pushing forward. And then exhale, see how I round the spine there. All right, let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Now we're going to exaggerate this motion just a little bit. This time on your inhale, if you can, I want you to actually take your hands behind you. Really open up through the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to hold this for a couple breaths. If it feels comfortable, lift that chin up a little bit. Maybe take your head back. That doesn't feel comfortable, you can just keep that head neutral. But think of lifting your chest straight up. Maybe walk your hands back a little bit further and continue to press your chest forward. And then very slowly, if that head was tilted, bring that chin back to your chest, walk those hands back up. So now that opposite stretch, we're gonna walk those hands straight out and into sort of a forward fold. You could reach for your block here, or just walk those hands forward. I want you to relax your head in between those arms. And we're gonna do that 1 more time. And I'm just facing the side, so you all have a side view to see how this looks. You can sit however you'd like. Let's inhale, walk those hands back up, and then exhale, we're gonna take those hands behind us once more. So I want you to press those legs and knees down as you lift your chest up, holding this for a couple of breaths. And again, if it feels comfortable, you can gently tilt that chin up as the head goes back. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can just keep that right at neutral position. Continue to squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift that chest up. Very slowly, if your head was back, tuck that chin to your chest and start to bring those shoulders back forward. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale, walk those hands forward, coming into your fold. And then slowly walk those hands back up to the center. So I'm just going to turn to face you all. On your next inhale, you're going to reach those arms all the way up. Take a nice deep breath. And then exhale, take them down. A couple more times. So just want to get those shoulders a little bit warmer, a little bit more stretched out before we do this. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times. Take it all the way up. Maybe you take your gaze up as well. Last time, we're going to interlace our fingers at the top here. You're gonna flip those palms, inhale, reach up, exhale, let's go over to that left side. So a nice stretch here in that side body. I also want you to think of pulling your shoulders down and away from your ears. It's easy to sort of crunch them up in this position, so try to pull them down and away. I know it's a little bit harder. I want you now to bring your focus to your core. So I want you to pull those abs in just ever so slightly. Inhale, come back to the center, and now exhale to the right side. Holding that there for just a couple of breaths. Just readjusting my seat here. Again, shoulders down and out of your ears. Pull those abs in just a tiny bit. Inhale, and then exhale. Let's release those hands and circle the wrists as we bring those arms back down. Okay, so now we're gonna take it from side to side, one arm at a time. We'll start with that right. Inhale, and exhale, reach it over. We're gonna start it more dynamic, meaning with movement, so more of a warm up. Exhale, bring it back over. We're gonna do it 2 more times, and the last one we'll hold it. And that will be more of our static stretch. Good, 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Same thing here, if you feel those shoulders scrunching up, I want you to drop them down. Drop them back into your pocket. Feel free to bend that elbow, that might make that a little less challenging. I want you to push down into your right side. So press that right hip into the floor to find a little more length in your side body. Inhale, slowly come up, and exhale, take it down. Maybe a couple shoulder rolls before we move on to the other side. Just sort of noticing where your body is feeling some tightness this morning. Taking a few more breaths into those spaces to find a little more length. And now the other side. Inhale and exhale. So we do it 4 times, making it a little more dynamic. Just so we don't go right into that stretch with our bodies cold. We want to warm it up just a little bit. And one last time. Feel free to use your blocks or pillows here as well. It's a great place to use it. So you're going to hold that stretch. I'm going to grab another block. So now we're feeling that stretch along the left side of our body. So I just place my hand on that block. Makes it a little bit easier. So now I want you to focus on pressing down through that left hip, finding a little more space. 1 more breath. Ooh, I feel that stretch. And then very slowly inhale and exhale. Back to some shoulder rolls, maybe 1 at a time. Great job. All right, let's come out of this seated position so we can start to move our legs around a little bit. So I mentioned that we were going to practice triangle pose today. And if you're just hopping on, we're going to try and find a spot where we can do that up against a wall. So I'll let you know when we're doing that, and maybe you can shift to another part of your room. But before we do, I want to do a couple of rotations here in tabletop, okay, to get our spine and our back nice and warm. So you're going to first find a tabletop position, and we'll start with that right hand. Okay, you're going to take that hand to your ear, and you can watch my screen for a moment. As you inhale, you're going to do a little rotation and bring that elbow down, and as you exhale, we're going to open that up. Okay, spinal rotation. So join me when you're ready. Inhale and exhale. And maybe you don't open as high as maybe you would like or you thought, and that's okay. Right, we're just warming up the spine. It's going to take a couple of these to really warm up into a twist. And the twist, remember, it's coming from your waist up, so your hips don't move that much. So we can really focus on the back. And I want your eyes to look straight down, just so we keep our neck long. Let's do 1 more. All right, so let's sit back, You can give that arm just a little bit of a break, the one that was holding you up. Maybe circle the wrist a little bit, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And you might feel that one side is a lot more open than the other, tighter than the other, whatever. And that's pretty normal. That's okay, no judgment here. We're just warming up. So take that left hand to your ear. Again, neck nice and long so we don't crunch those muscles there or bother our neck or shoulders. So inhale, we rotate in, that elbow comes down, and then exhale, we open up. And just doing this a couple times. So we're practicing this because this is essentially what we do in triangle pose. So keep moving, right? You're rotating and opening up. From your back and your spine. It's rotation and a little bit of an extension at the same time. And nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. This is a great mobility exercise for nice healthy spine. So let's do 2 more on this side. Nice and easy. Make sure you're breathing with it. And 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Imagine the elbow is just being pulled up behind you. Slowly come back down. All right, let's find a child's pose. So knees wide, feet together, sit back, relax that head. We're going to be doing a lot of different twists today. So here's another one. This is going to be thread the needle. While you're in your child's pose, just want you to start with that left arm, and you're just going to thread it underneath while you're in that child's pose. Just reach underneath. Lower back down. Maybe that head comes to the floor, maybe it doesn't. You can always adjust yourself to bring that head down, but it doesn't have to. Just a little bit of a twist. Imagine someone sort of pulling that arm through, thread the needle. You're gonna inhale, slowly come back up, stay in your child's pose, and exhale, the other arm's gonna come through. Again, you can adjust yourself. Maybe you slide forward in order to get your shoulder and your head down with maybe those hips up, or maybe you just stay right here. And then slowly come back up. So that was sort of the opposite way that we were twisting, right? We were coming in as opposed to opening. I just want us to get nice and warm. Let's shift to downward facing dog. Move a little bit into our lower body here. So you're gonna take your hands to the top of the mat. Your feet right behind you, tuck your toes, take an inhale, and then exhale, lift right up. Here in your down dog, you're gonna take a couple of moments to pedal out your heels. Hold your down dog there. Think about pressing your chest towards your thighs because you're making that upside down V, right? With your body. So you want those hips straight up. You wanna get a nice stretch for the back of those legs. Hang on here for a couple breaths. Just gonna come check in. You can also come to child's pose anytime you'd like while we're here. Beautiful. And for anyone that is new to class, at any time, I always say that you can take this down dog or take your child's pose anytime you like. Maybe you're starting to feel a little tired or just want a little bit of a break. Child's pose or down dog is a great place to do that. All right, let's build a little bit of heat. Inhale, we're gonna come forward into a plank position. So this could be on your toes, as I'm doing, or on your knees, or maybe one knee. Either way, you're pulling those abs in towards your spine just a little bit, right? We're tucking those hips under, stitching your ribcage together. Your gaze is in front of your mat. So not straight down, but just slightly in front. Take 1 more breath. Inhale, feeling that fire right in the center of the body. Exhale, knees lower and our chest lowers. Elbows in. Call it chaturanga. Like a tricep push-up almost. You're going to flatten those toes. You're going to lift up for a baby cobra. Nice stretch in that back. And then exhale, lower. Retuck the toes. Take an inhale, and then exhale, gently press yourself back up. Downward facing dog. Let's do it 2 more times, just to get nice and warm here and build that heat. Inhale forward to your plank. We're just gonna hold it for a breath. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Keep your body nice and strong and flat there. Flatten your toes. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, retuck the toes, down and back. All right, one more time, and then you're gonna start to feel nice and warm if you're not already. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Elbows back, flatten those toes. Inhale, lift up baby cobra. Just to your point, your range of motion, no forcing it. And then exhale, lower. Retuck the toes. Press yourself all the way up and back. Down dog or child's pose. Whatever you'd like here. Down dog or child's pose. Hopefully you're starting to feel nice and warm. One more breath here. And then wherever you're at, everyone's gonna come back up to down dog. We're gonna bend the knees on our next inhale. As we exhale, we're gonna start to walk those feet up towards our hands. Should I come into a forward fold? Inhale, we're gonna take those arms up nice and slow. We're gonna come up to standing. We're gonna bring our palms together. And as we exhale, we're gonna lower them down to heart center. So just a quick check-in. Everyone doing okay? We're feeling a little warmer. Awesome. Okay, so as always, take this practice at your own. Good, love the thumbs up. Thanks, Catherine. Take this practice at your own pace, right? You can always slow it down, you can always speed it up. So we're gonna continue to work through our hips just a bit and get a little more rotation in there, and then we'll get into more of our yoga flow. So let's take this up. Inhale, arms come up, and then exhale, you're gonna float it down. Think of leading forward with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift, our hands come to our knees or our shins here, and we create a really flat back. So I'd be able to balance my glass of coffee or water on your back, and you'd be able to hold on to it. That's how flat, that's how strong your back is right now. And then exhale, bring those hands back down. Let's step our right foot back. And we're gonna lower that knee to the floor. You're gonna untuck that toe, lift the chest, low lunge, inhale, arms up, exhale, hold. So just getting a stretch in that hip flexor. So you can have your hands by your hips. Maybe that feels better on your shoulders. If you want a little bit more, you can interlace your fingers. Keep your thumb and your pointer extended. Maybe you feel comfortable to look up, and then that gives you a tiny back bend. It is a lot more challenging, so just do what works for you. Maybe if you're already close to that wall, you could use that for balance too. Just one more breath in this low lunge. Should feel that stretch in your hip flexor and a little bit in that back too. So inhale, those hands come down. As we exhale, we're gonna retuck that toe, lift the knee off the floor and step back to down dog. As we inhale, we're gonna come forward to our plank. So we're gonna go through this again before we do the other side. Exhale, knees and chest, just so we get nice and warm. Inhale, lift baby cobra. And then exhale, retuck the toes. Down dog or child's pose. Since we'll be doing that sequence and that flow a lot, you'll have the option to take that out if you'd like. One more breath. Inhale, you're gonna bend those knees. Exhale, walk. Maybe you're warming up to walk or hop or jump to the top. Forward fold. Inhale takes us all the way back up. We're gonna go right back down. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to knees or shins. I want you to pull your shoulder blades together for a nice flat back. And then exhale, let's lower. This time your left leg steps back. Same exact sequence. Bring the knee down, flatten that toe, lift your chest, find your balance by using your core, arms up. Inhale and exhale. We are here for a couple of breaths. Low lunge. So maybe hands at your hips, maybe arms up. Maybe you want to add a little back bend, interlace those fingers together. Whatever works for you. Maybe you just want to focus on that hip flexor. Keep those hands on your hips. So wherever you're at, one more breath. Next, inhale, you're going to float those hands down nice and slowly. We're going to retuck that back toe as we exhale. Lift the knee off the floor. You're going to step right back. Down dog. So let's go through a sequence again. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lower. Let's retuck those toes. Up and back. Down dog. And hold that right there. Down dog or child's pose. Right? Couple of breaths. I'm going to do 2 more breaths. Perfect. Okay, next one, you're going to bend those knees as you inhale. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Come to that forward fold. And then inhale, we're going to come to standing. Arms come all the way up, nice and tall. Let's bring our palms together. And exhale, lower down. Okay, so check in again. Everyone's good. We're going to get moving just a little bit more. We're going to come back to a sequence we did last week. Practice chair and practice some twists in those chairs as well. And that will get us ready for our triangle and then another balance pose. Let's take our arms up. Big deep breath in. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. I'm going to go a tiny bit faster as well. Exhale, drop back to your forward fold. Let's get ready for chair. You're going to bring your feet, your knees together. You're going to drop those hips. Lift the chest and the arms. Inhale and exhale. Find your chair pose. Remember, the arms can be all the way up. You could do cactus with your arms, or you can keep them right here at prayer. In prayer at your chest. Look down. Make sure your knees are together. You can wiggle your toes here. Your chest is up, your hips are down. You should be feeling those legs start to get nice and warm. Let's do one more breath here. We're gonna have a little bit of balance right away. Inhale, stand up. You're gonna bring that right leg up. Hold it for 2 breaths. I want you to tuck those hips under. One more breath. You're gonna step it back to warrior 1. So a medium step back. Heel to the floor. Arms reach up, inhale, interlace those fingers, exhale, hold. So you have that pointer and thumb sticking out. Your back leg is nice and straight with warrior 1. Perfect. You should get a nice stretch behind that leg. Excellent. We're going to do one more breath and open up to warrior 2. So what we're going to do is bring this back foot back to our chair. Okay, we're going to bring those hands to prayer. Inhale, I want you to step back to the chair. I want you just to put about half your weight on your right foot. Inhale, and then exhale, take a bigger step back. Open up your hip, rotate to the front, and come into warrior 2. So another rotation here. Take a couple of breaths to find this. We open from the hip, and then our knee and our ankle are all facing the front or the side, while your front leg is facing that way. Shoulders down. We're looking over that front arm though. We want our shoulders stacked right on top of our hips rather than slightly forward. So you want to imagine being pulled in both directions at the same time. One more breath here. Inhale, flip that palm, exhale, peaceful warrior. So take your gaze up at your hand. Backhand to slides down a little bit. Challenge your balance a little bit, feel those legs. And then inhale, come back to warrior 2. Exhale, take that heel off the floor. We're gonna cartwheel those hands down. We're gonna take your hands to the floor. You're gonna lower your knee down. You're gonna flatten that foot. So here, we're gonna add a twist. Place your right hand to the floor, and as you exhale, reach and twist with that opposite arm. So whatever leg is in front, that same side arm is going to reach and twist. You can start with hand on your hip or extend into that full straight arm position. We're looking over that shoulder. That knee should still be right on top of your toes. One more breath. Inhale, take the hand back down. Exhale, you're gonna go ahead and lift that knee off the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Woo. Inhale forward to your plank, or you can take this part out, right, into spinal child's pose. Exhale, lower knees and chest. You wanna glue your elbows into your rib cage. So elbows should not be out to the side. Inhale, lift up for baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down and back, down dog, or a child's pose. 3 breaths. We'll do the same sequence on the other side. And if you have blocks or pillows, any kind of props, feel free to use those. 1 more breath in your down dog or your child's pose. Next one, we're gonna bend those knees. Big deep breath in, exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale takes us to standing. We're just gonna go right into the other side. And exhale, let it go. Float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. Pull those shoulder blades together. Keep that core nice and strong the whole time. And then exhale, lower. Let's get ready for chair pose. Knees and toes together, drop those hips, arms up. Inhale and exhale, hold it. So I'm keeping my hands at prayer at my chest. This feels better on my shoulders and my neck, but you can do that full extension with those arms, or maybe cactus, or also here in prayer with me. Imagine a chair right underneath those hips, right? So how would you normally sit into your chair? Hopefully you don't lean forward like this, right? You want to lead with your hips. So your hips are down, your chest is up, just like you're going into a squat, right? 1 more breath. We're feeling those legs. Inhale, everyone bring those hands to prayer. Lift your left leg off the floor. Exhale, let's hold it for 2 breaths. Can you lift a little taller here? Imagine a piece of string lifting you up. And then inhale, take a step back for warrior 1. Press that heel, exhale. Arms come up, and we hold. Interlace those fingers. Try to pull those arms close to your ears, or you can find that cactus, right? Whatever's comfortable for you. You should feel a big stretch behind that leg. Hips are forward. We're gonna adjust to warrior 2 in just a moment. So let's take those hands back to prayer. Inhale, you're gonna step that foot back to your front foot. You come back to chair. I want just a little bit of weight on that left foot. Get nice and low, inhale. Big step back now. Warrior 2, open your hip so that heel rotates to the floor. Arms lift up, and we find warrior 2. Settle into that, take a couple of breaths. Core is strong the whole time, so I want you to think of stitching that ribcage together, or maybe wearing a tight belt around your waist, whatever works for you. Being pulled in both directions here, right? Good, shoulders down, away from your ears. Pressing into those toes of your back foot just as much as your front. Inhale, you're gonna flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Reach that front arm up and back. Peaceful warrior, take a gaze. Take a look at your hand. Little side bend here. 1 more breath, looking good. Inhale, come back to that warrior 2. Take that heel off the floor. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. So this would be a good place to use the blocks if you'd like, if you have them. You're gonna first lower that knee, right? You're gonna untuck that toe nice and flat. We're gonna do our twist. Now it's just with the other side. Left hand to the floor, exhale. This should be your right leg in front, so your right arm reaches up. I'm just taking my hand to my hip. Hold that there. Remember those twists that we did in the very beginning. This is the same thing, right? You're twisting from that torso, you're lifting your shoulder. If you have flexibility, extend that arm completely straight, but that wrist has to be right on top of your shoulder. So if it's not there, then just keep that hand on your hip. Make sure that knee is right on top of your knee. We've got 2 more breaths here. Keep those hips low. You want to open up and twist with your shoulder. And then go ahead and slowly take that hand down. You're going to re-tap your toe, lift the knee off the floor, and step it on back. Down dog. Great job, everybody. So you can find your down dog or child's pose or go through the sequence again. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Go at your own pace here. You know the sequence. So if you'd like to go through it at your own pace. You're gonna find that child's pose or down dog for 3 breaths. Remember, this is your practice, your time to work, to stretch, to always adjust it to what works for you. 1 more breath, wherever you're at. Let's bend those knees as we inhale and exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Taking that forward fold, relaxing here just for a moment. And then inhale takes us up to standing nice and slow, keeping that core strong. We're gonna bring our palms together and then exhale, slowly lower it down to heart center. All right, quick little break. How's everyone doing? We're good, thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, so now we're gonna practice triangle pose. So I do want to encourage you to do this up against a wall, okay? Or you can stay on your mat, and when we go to triangle, then you can move, either or. I have the wall right here, so I'm just gonna stay nice and close. All right, here we go. Inhale, take it up, big deep breath, and exhale, float it down. And you don't have to have the wall, but it is gonna make a really big difference and be really helpful to find the right form. Inhale, lift halfway. We're gonna go through the same sequence. Pull those shoulder blades together and exhale. So make sure you're, not too close to the wall just yet. All right, drop those hips, arms up, chair pose. Inhale and exhale, find your chair pose. Nice and low. You should be able to wiggle your toes here in your chair. We're gonna add a twist element this time. So take a nice deep breath, inhale, and as you exhale, you're gonna twist to the right. Maybe you take your elbow down by your knee, don't have to, but it's a twist. Now look down at your knees. Is one slightly forward than the other? If it is, adjust your hips. Make that adjustment. Maybe you don't twist as far. So make sure those knees are nice and straight. Drop your hips, lift your chest. Woo, we're feeling this. Try 1 more breath. Inhale, come up. Lift that right leg up. And exhale, take it back, warrior 1. Reach those arms. Hold that warrior 1. If you haven't already, try to extend those arms, glue them to your ears. Try that here. We're gonna take 1 more breath, then we're gonna get ready for that triangle. So inhale, let's straighten that front leg, and as you exhale, those arms lower. So here you could get nice and close to the wall. All right, so your hip up against the wall, okay? This left arm is in front. Inhale, you wanna reach forward, so watch my screen first. Exhale, slide down, touch the wall. This hand, you want to touch the wall behind you. If that is not happening, hand to your hip and instead get your elbow. You see that? Get your elbow to touch the wall. So go ahead and practice that with me. Inhale and exhale. So this side's a little bit tighter for me. Woo! But again, if you can extend that arm, you're looking at your hand and you want to try to touch the wall behind you. If you're really far from that, that is okay. Instead, do the elbow. So hold it for a couple of breaths. You're gonna feel a huge stretch in your side body. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, then just come out of that, right? So let's try 2 more breaths. But this really gives you that idea, yep, of how open you should be. Yes, your shoulder, your hand should be stacked right on top. You all look beautiful. 1 more breath there. Woo, you're gonna use your core to pull yourself back up. So you're gonna press into that back leg. Slowly pull yourself back up. Woo, inhale and exhale, perfect. We can move away from the wall. We're gonna find that warrior 2. So we're gonna bring our hands together. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, you're gonna open up. We're gonna come right into that warrior 2. Hold this here. So maybe this time around you get a little bit lower, a little bit deeper. 1 more breath. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back, reverse. Peaceful warrior, look up at that hand. Inhale, you're gonna come back to your warrior 2. We're gonna switch things up here. Exhale, you're gonna lift that heel up. Instead of coming to the floor, let's just bring it back to the front and come into a high lunge. You're gonna bring those palms together. Inhale. Exhale, you're gonna lean forward. I want you to bring this back foot to meet your front foot. So we're coming back into this chair, right? Just a little bit of weight in that foot. I know this is tricky. Inhale. Exhale, step it on back. Stay nice and low now. We're gonna twist to the other side. So staying in this lunge. We did it before with our knee on the floor. We're gonna try it while in the lunge. So twisting here. Hold it. I'm gonna show you from the other side. So just like your twisting chair. Yep. Hold that there. So we're feeling that front leg for sure. Hold it. Press those hands together. You have 1 more breath. And then inhale, come back to the center, arms up. Exhale, take those hands down and step it on back. Woo, good job, everybody. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest, or find that child's pose. Inhale, lift, baby cobra, and exhale, down and back, child's pose or down dog. So 2 different kinds of twists there. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, and we'll go right into that. So take 1 more breath where you're at. You're almost done. Y'all are doing great. Starting to break a sweat. Inhale, you're gonna bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale takes us up. Nice and tall. And then exhale, we're gonna go right down. Fold forward. Let it go. Inhale, halfway left. Nice flat back. Press your heels into the floor. And then exhale, lower. All right, we're gonna find that chair. Toes together, knees together, drop the hips. Arms sweep up, inhale. And exhale, hold your chair. I want you to think of your core here as well. So tuck those hips in just a tiny bit. Imagine someone's getting ready to punch you in the stomach. What do? You sort of contract before that happens, right? So keep those core muscles nice and strong. We're gonna add that twist here. Inhale up, exhale, twist to the other side. Maybe your elbow anchors by your knee. It does not have to. Big, big twist. Shoulders away from your ears. Look down at your knees. Is one further forward than the other? Go ahead and fix it. If it is, you got to adjust it. Drop your hips, lift your chest, keep twisting. Woo! I know legs are burning. 1 more breath, you got this. Inhale, come up, lift that left leg off the floor. A little bit of balance, nice and tall here. And then exhale, step it back for warrior 1. Arms up. Hold this here, warrior 1. We're gonna get ready for that triangle pose on the other side. Hold this for a couple breaths first. Arms strong, shoulders down. Nice stretch in the back of that leg. 1 more breath here. Inhale, we're gonna straighten that leg. Exhale, arms lower. Find that spot against the wall. I'll try it over here. Same thing here, hips against the wall. Inhale, you're gonna reach forward. Exhale. If you don't have the wall, you're reaching for that knee. And you're gonna start to stack that arm on top. So your wrist is right on top of your shoulder. If it's hand on your hip, it's your shoulder. Hold this here. Try to touch the wall, lean back. You know you're not gonna fall, so it's also why this is helpful. So you can lean back, woo, as far as you can. So hold that for a couple breaths. And then when you practice without the wall, you're in the spot you should be. So you're also looking up at that hand or shoulder, right? Hold that, let's see it. Open that shoulder, looking up. Perfect. Yep, nice, Diane. I bet you feel a big stretch. Good, pull that shoulder back. One more breath. And then we're gonna press into that back foot nice and slow. Use your obliques, slowly pull yourself up. Maybe hands still on your hip, right? Woo, inhale. Exhale, we're gonna come right into that warrior two. You're just gonna open your hips slightly, press those heels back. Find that warrior two. Nice strong pose, keep that core nice and strong. Shoulders down. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Peaceful warrior. Look up at that hand. We're gonna get ready for that lunge and that other twist. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, pop that heel off the floor. Just rotate your hips to the front. Arms reach up. We're in a nice high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come together as heart center. You're gonna lean forward slightly. Now you could take your knee to the floor or stay here and we're gonna twist over this front knee. Go ahead and twist. So on this side, I can twist all the way and anchor my elbow. If you find this is a little too much or your hips are popping up, you're gonna drop that knee back to the floor, right? And you're twisting over that right shoulder for a couple breaths. Woo, I know this is tricky. Remember, we don't want our weight on that leg, all right? Don't want any weight on that leg. It's all in the core. You're lifting up and away. So now became a little too much. I'm on my knee here. Woo, one more breath, everybody. You got this. Inhale, come back up. Arms reach up and then exhale, take those hands down. Great job, everybody. You can go through the sequence one more time, final round, or you can find a nice child's pose, whatever you'd like. When you are done, you're gonna find a child's pose. And maybe you go through that twice, maybe add an extra push-up, whatever you wanna do. When you're done, nice child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths here. You can slowly shift from side to side while you're in that child's pose. And slowly walk those hands up. And we're gonna swing those legs around and come down onto our back. Great job, everybody. Slowly make your way down. Once you're there, you're gonna hug those knees into your chest. You're gonna gently rock side to side here. Just relax, feel free to close your eyes here. Knees in, going side to side. Get a nice little stretch for your back. Sandy, you want to join us for the stretch? All right, so we're going to continue with twists. You're going to stay down on your back. All right, so those knees are into your side. I want you to extend those arms out to the side like you're making the letter T. And you're going to slowly drop those knees over to the left side. And as you do so, start to take your gaze, turn your head over to the right, so the opposite arm. Look over that shoulder. Nice gentle twist. Feel free to maybe relax your legs on some pillows or props. Again, do what feels comfortable for you. Maybe stretching out your top leg feels good, or maybe you just stay right here. Very, very gently, you're gonna bring those legs back up to the center. Take another inhale. Exhale, you're gonna drop them over to the right side, opposite side. Look over the opposite arm and shoulder. So on this side, I'd have a little prop for my legs, and I allow them to rest on the blocks. Make sure you're turning your head, adding that gentle twist, and take a few breaths here. And then very slowly come back to the center. Give yourself a little hug. Tell yourself something nice. Knees into the chest. We're going to lower those feet down. We're going to come into our inversion, just our last thing before we find a nice shavasana. So we're going to lift up into a bridge. Your feet are about hip distance here. Your arms are down by your side. You're just going to slowly peel your spine off the mat as you lift up gently. Inhale, you're going to lower back down, and exhale, you're going to lift back up. So we'll do 3 total, and that third and final one, you'll have the option to hold that bridge up there. So here's our last one. I have a block nearby. I'm going to do a supported bridge. So if you have a rolled up towel or a pillow or a block, you just slide that right underneath. Supported bridge, or you challenge yourself to hold without support. Just squeeze those glutes. You're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. Make sure you're breathing wherever you're at. Maybe you interlace those hands underneath your hips. And open up those shoulders a little bit more, totally up to you. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And then very slowly, you're going to lower those hips back down onto the floor. I'm going to slide that block out from underneath and very, very slowly lower down. You can do windshield wipers with your legs here. Maybe bring those arms overhead and just drop those legs from side to side. And then for our final minute, I just want you to find a nice relaxation pose. It can be whatever you want. All I ask is that you close your eyes. Whatever pose you want to get into. Just close your eyes. Start to focus on your breathing. Maybe it helps by placing a hand on your chest and other hand on your belly. Just allow your body to decompress. Allow muscles to breathe and just relax for a moment here. Allow yourself to just be still and do nothing. And then slowly start to bring some movement back to your body. Maybe starting with your toes and your fingers, wiggling them around. Then gently moving your head from side to side. No, I don't want to get up. Extend your legs all the way out. Reach your arms overhead. We're going to take a nice inhale. Make ourselves a little longer. Big deep breath. And then exhale. let it all go. And then very gently, just make your way up towards a seated position. Whatever is comfortable for you. Once we're here, maybe a couple shoulder rolls. A little more movement to continue waking up the body so we can get back to work or whatever we are doing for the rest of the day. And with that, we will take a nice inhale, bring those arms up, bring the palms together at the top as you exhale, lower them down, closing your eyes for just a moment, and as always, being thankful for setting aside time in your day to do something good for you. And we will say namaste to one another. And thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Maybe you also have today off and just join for the workout. And I appreciate you all for coming.